People protesting the final stretch of the FAMU Way extension at last night's Tallahassee City Commission meeting. Traditional shotgun homes and 2 large oak trees were in the road's path.
The discussion running more than an hour at the meeting. Capital City correspondent Monica Casey's been following the story today. Monica, what are people saying?
Well, the Boynton Still neighborhood sits mostly empty right now. Former residents sometimes gather in the shade of 2 large oak trees that are still standing. The clearing for this portion of the project scheduled to be completed within a month.
Had about some bricks here.
Lauren Hubbard living in this spot 7 months ago.
And right here was her mom's house.
Her family owned the property since 1947.
Was the kitchen. Even if nothing was cooking, it just smelled like fried chicken all the time.
That house demolished now.
I moved out the last second. I still would be here.
The city has used eminent domain to clear out a low-income neighborhood.
Local historian Jonathan Lammers upset about the loss of 23 traditional shotgun homes, 2 large oak trees, and their shade where members of the community congregate.
They could have fixed up these homes. They could have built more affordable housing here.
City Commissioner Diane Williams-Cox saying the city did utilize public input for the project.
So as a part of the plan to turn dirt and make things look better on the south side, this project has to go forward.
Years ago, Delmas Barber went through the area with the Citizen Neighborhood Reach program to weatherize houses.
Toilets leaning over, no air, sometimes the water was not working, just uninhabitable.
As part of the urban forest plan, the city will also be planting 450 trees. But former resident Lauren Hubbard missing her family's spot.
Good loving of, knowing that nobody in your area is going to bother you because they knew your family. It was really sacred ground.
Now, this project did have a Citizens Advisory Committee. Assistant City Manager Wayne Tedder telling me the city also went door to door in that area and sent over 1,200 emails about the project. Reporting live at the Governor's Club, Monica Casey, WCTV Eyewitness News.
Okay, Monica, thank you.
Tension at Wednesday's Tallahassee City Commission meeting, people speaking out against the last leg of the FAMU Way development. Historians upset about the loss of 23 of those traditional shotgun houses and 2 big oak trees.
Those sit in the Boynton Still neighborhood in the path of the FAMU Way extension. Capital City correspondent Monica Casey is here with a closer look at this debate. Monica?
Well, Assistant City Manager Wayne Tedder saying there has been historical flooding in this area, and this leg of the project is designed to deal specifically with that issue. Now, the project as a whole has had public input at every stage. A Citizens Advisory Committee accepted this route years ago. City Commissioner Diane Williams-Cox saying this project ties in to revitalizing the Greater Bond community located next to this neighborhood.
We need to continue to move our city forward, a community at a time. This community needs some TLC, and I'm believing that what is on the plans, has been on the books for the past 3 years, will help do that for our city.
Local historian Jonathan Lammers saying the large oak trees provided a meeting place for citizens and residents revisiting their now empty neighborhood.
It's the complete annihilation of a low-income neighborhood. It's the clear-cutting of a grove of patriarch oak trees that were nurtured and enjoyed by the residents. And it's all being done for a stormwater pond and an extension of FAMU Way.
Although those 2 large oak trees will be coming down, the urban forest plan accepted by the city calls for 450 new trees to be planted. Now, we spoke with a former resident of one of these homes. We'll have more on how she feels about the project coming up at 6. For now, reporting live at the Governor's Club, Monica Casey, WCTV Eyewitness News.
All right, Monica, we'll talk with you then.
Well, we all want to see our neighborhoods grow and improve, but one City of Tallahassee project trying to do just that is actually uprooting neighbors.
That's right. The project is tearing down huge oak trees and demolishing buildings in the Boynton Still neighborhood. And those who live there want the bulldozing to stop. WTXL ABC's Valerie Mills has been talking to people in the area. And Val, what are they hoping to accomplish?
Ava, there's a sign on a tree around the corner from this recent demolition. The sign reads, "If these trees could talk, they'd be saying, 'Let me live.'" Neighbors tell me they want the city to reconsider a project on the south side of town that tears down old oak trees and buildings that have been here for decades to pave the way for a multi-use road and trail. The project will connect the Bond neighborhood and Cascades Park to the St. Mark's trails and extend toward the airport. It also calls for a needed stormwater pond in the area. But those who live here feel like these buildings could have been restored into affordable housing or a community center to preserve the Boynton Still neighborhood, which some families have lived in for generations.
I usually don't have feelings, but this is pretty bad. I just know that, you want to move people out of not just where we're living, but where we grew up at, everything, where I grew up, where I was raised, where I learned how to be a good person.
City commissioners say the demolished buildings were run down and unlivable. They say this project aims to revitalize this neighborhood and help move the city forward one community at a time. And as I've been walking around here, the common thread that people love the Boynton Still neighborhood and they don't want to see parts of it torn down. On the other hand, the city says although these buildings are old, they don't meet the criteria to be on the historical registry. We'll hear from more neighbors on this issue tonight in your news at 11. Live in Tallahassee, Valerie Mills, WTXL, ABC 27.
They are demolished in a historic African-American neighborhood, the Boynton Still community, to make way for a City of Tallahassee project. While damage is already done, a group is fighting to save a handful of oak trees with roots stretching back hundreds of years. WTXL ABC 27's Valerie Mills shows us what a group of environmentalists and people with close ties to the neighborhood are hoping to convince the city to do.
You can't cut these trees down. My mom grew up with these trees, she's 60-some years old now, but that's our community.
A community known for its historic oak trees could soon have nothing to show for it.
It's approximately 500 years old.
Dozens of people with ties going back generations were uprooted for the FAMU Connector project.
My place was built from the ground up. We drew the plans, my wife and I, and we built it piece by piece. And literally, I have found nothing that I can afford to buy.
That's why people who used to live and work here, along with preservationists, are fighting to save what's left.
Take a pause for the next 2 months, work with the community, work with us, work with the environmental professionals to come up with a plan that saves the environment and the cultural heritage and history of this site.
With a handful of oak trees still standing, they're asking the city to find a route that doesn't pave through this neighborhood. The city tells WTXL they will be planting more than 400 trees to make up for the ones being torn down.
The 450 trees refers to all of FAMU Way, from South Adams Street all the way to Lake Bradford.
The hundreds of trees that they're going to replant would not replace these trees that have been here for like 400 years.
These trees, a small piece of history that mean the world to those who grew up underneath them.
Everything, where I grew up, where I was raised, where I learned how to be a good person.
In Tallahassee, Valerie Mills, WTXL, ABC 27.
The group plans to present their stories to city commissioners this Wednesday. They're hoping to show them that this project can still be done without tearing down what's left of the Boynton Still neighborhood. Also new at 11 tonight.